the Sunbeam Smell. Mount Resort Municipality to order for 3 o'clock on Tuesday, October the 7th, and acknowledge that we live, work, and play in the traditional territories of the Squamish people. Do we have any introduction of late items? No. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as circulated? Councillor Kimmel, welcome back, and seconded by Councillor Gillespie. All in favor? Thank you. Under 4.1, we have the minutes of the regular council meeting of September the 16th. Can I get a motion to adopt the minutes? Councillor Gillespie, seconded by Councillor Ryken. Any errors or omissions at this time? Seeing none, all in favor? Awesome. And we are on to 5.1, cover the highlight of our meeting today. So Terry Hadman is here from the Thompson Nicola Film Commission. And you have a presentation for us.
Thank you.
Excellent, welcome. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me. We have a visual from here.
Money not too quick.
No? Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful, awesome. So I'm gonna be like a robot on fast forward through here, and I might just click through a few slides. I'm hoping that they spark your interest, and we'll do a recall later so that I can maybe do a deeper dive into some of the subjects that we'll be going over. So my name is Terry Hadman, and I'm the Thompson Nicola Film Commissioner. I cover the entire TNRD area to try to bring in film production to the region. And this is our mission statement, which basically says exactly that. My department exists so that we can stimulate economic growth by enticing film projects into our area and also by facilitating growth from within. This is our small but mighty team, 2 full-time, 1 part-time. Vesta Giles, some people might recognize her. She is a filmmaker herself. She created the documentary called The Test, which was about Logan Lake being put to the test, being the first fire smart community in Canada. And Katie is our marketing guru, and I am the film commissioner. And so the Thompson Nicola Regional District and our film commission is one of 7 in the province, and we are all under the umbrella of Creative BC. And this is just a fun little joke that I thought that I would bring back, what people think I do, what I really do, what my mom thinks I do. But in essence, what we really do is welcome film productions into the area, for, enticing them and then supporting them while they're here. So these are some numbers. I think everybody's always interested in what the economic drivers are. So we are somewhere around $2 billion in the province with just film industry on its own, motion picture. That's part of the creative sector. We haven't had numbers that low since 2016. So those strikes that we faced in 2023 has had a huge impact on the film industry. Just down below, you can see that the numbers are showing similar in Canada and really all over the world. Stats here locally, so it's estimated in 2024 we've had about $9.75 million injection with having film projects brought into our region. And just a few successes. I love this one because it made it all the way to the Oscars, so definitely worth something to celebrate. That's fun. A few other projects. Tracker is probably one of my favorites. We were the first 5 minutes of the pilot episode, so right when they're trying to capture their audience's attention, we were the first 5 minutes opening scene, and we were shown right after the Super Bowl. So there is no better prime time slot than that time slot that we were given, and it showcased part of the TNRD right around Wallachine, and a lot of their marketing materials was of us, something we would never be able to afford. This was a project that was 100% shot in our area. It brought Lou Diamond Phillips here. He's just as handsome as ever. We got to have the film premiere at the Paramount Theater in Kamloops, and a lot of the production team and the cast came. Few of our smaller projects that are worth checking out in Coldwater. It's a case of who done it. Highly recommend. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, or does it? I don't know, but but I think everybody has a pretty good conclusion who did it at the end. And so I just wanted to kind of talk about why I can't talk about things. Because a lot of the times, a lot of what I do is top secret, and it's because we're either under an NDA or the production has asked us to keep it on the down low for as long as they possibly can. Once the media gets a hold of it, sometimes the public can think that it's their gosh given right to go and visit set, when that's kind of a hindrance to the project getting done. You wouldn't interrupt a construction company when they're building a road or building a house. It's kind of the same thing. These people are at work, so we try to keep it a secret as long as we can. And on to the next thing. How are we involved? And I'm not going to read all of this, but I would say 90% of my time is spent with productions, trying to make sure that they're aware of the locations that we have in our region and the products, and to introduce them to crew and to services that we have in the area. So in essence, we are the region's ambassadors for the film industry. And some of our more recent wins, I'm just gonna highlight the movie map just a little bit, just because it's one of the top 10 visited sites on the TNRD server platform. So it is definitely something that people are interested in. And you can go on there and you can see what projects have been filmed within the region over the last 20 years. Just this last year, I went down to Las Vegas. It was a very fun time because Trump got elected that day. Boy, howdy, we were the only Canadian location that was on site at that time. So our dollar hit a low, and BC announced that they were increasing their tax credit. So that was a very popular table at that time. And we've been recognized as one of the top places to live and work as a movie maker in the Movie Maker magazine for the last 3 years in a row. And some of our annual events, we have a seminar that takes place over 2 days, next one. And then every third Sunday, we hold a film industry networking event where people that are interested in working in film or just want to come and listen to whatever theme we're offering that day can come and have a visit and drop in as they like, and learn about what it is that we're doing. We always try to have a theme, because otherwise we'll just sit around and gossip. So we always make sure we have some sort of guest speaker. And some of our other projects that we're always working on, we've recently purchased heat generators to make our film industry that much more quiet and that much more energy efficient. This is them on their first maiden voyage in Sun Peaks. On the left-hand side, they were used in the hotel, which was awesome, because that way they could keep the doors closed and wasn't letting the cold air in during that very, very cold week. We're always looking to try to get investors on motion picture studio, and we take people on familiarization tours throughout the region. This is some places that people can come to connect with us on our website and our social channels, and you can subscribe to our e-newsletter, which only comes once a month. We don't send you weird coupons. It's only information that you should be interested in. And that's my speed version. Yeah. Is there any questions?
Do we have any questions, comments? How long have we had a film commission now officially?
The film commission has been around for about 25 years almost, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So circa like late 90s, 2000. Yeah.
Some people might be interested that a project that was recently filmed at Sun Peaks will be aired on Netflix on December 3rd. So that might be something to put in your calendar.
And then there was more recently kind of a smaller shoot
That's
as
correct.
well.
Yes, yeah,
In the
just
village for a couple of days.
yeah, that one was very interesting because they were all set to film in Italy, and then Italy got rid of their tax credits, and so they had to kind of switch gears and find new locations really quite quickly. So we assisted them with that, and it was great to have them here. I understand that they donated some bikes, so they left behind this some materials. So somebody got to take advantage of that, and heard all things were good. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's definitely other interests coming along down the pipeline.
Yeah, I know, like, when you talk about the early start, so in my other life then, I was working in the Nicola Valley, you knew, at a resort, and my boss at the time was on the film commission, and it was pretty new and fresh, but the ranch where I worked over the years, even then, it was part of a couple of movies, Toyota commercial, General Motors commercial, like, there's a lot of pride, and there's a lot of great venue and opportunity up here, so.
Yeah, commercials are always a great one to bring into the area because they bring in a lot of dollars.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry, Councilor Kimball?
When you have the Sunday evening learning.
Mhm.
Do you have sort of, are you guys actually doing the information, or do you have sort of experts come in on specific themes and we can talk about?
So I facilitate it, but we bring in guest speakers. Actually, one of them, we brought in women in the director's chair, which then resulted in one of our participants attendees being able to get $250,000 worth of funding down the line. So bringing those professionals and experts into the area so that they can experience our region and see how human we are and how passionate we are about telling our stories. That's also helping grow the industry.
Just a quick question on, when you see, organizations coming in to shoot movies, commercials, are they typically bringing all of their crews with them, or do they find that they hire some types of jobs and roles in the areas where they work?
It's a little bit of both, and it really kind of depends on the project. So if it's a large scale, well-funded, well-known platform, they're probably going to bring a vast majority of their people with them. Because they have to have certain unionization qualifications. And we do have a local crew list here. On that crew list, we have less than 200 folks that are interested in working in film. And of those 200 people, maybe 40 of them have those union qualifications. So they tend to need to bring in a lot of cast and crew, which is great for accommodations.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Same here. Take care. Bye.
Okay. Moving on to 6.1, we've got mayor council reports, just quickly, not a lot, but obviously just a bit of a kind of 30,000 foot. Since the last meeting, we had the week-long Union of BC Municipalities Conference in Victoria, where myself, CEO Campbell, and Director Burton attended. We had some quality meetings and some good opportunities to meet with ministries and ministry staffs and ministers, and hopefully now, as we're back into the swing of things, we'll be doing some follow-up work on that. Also, September 30th, National Reconciliation Day. I spent most of the day out in Chase as a guest of Cookby Duck Sheet from Adams Lake, and attended the event there, and it was a great day, lots of people out. Got asked last minute to get up to speak, so was careful to not get myself uninvited for next year, so looking forward to going back and taking part in that again next year. So moving on, CAO's report.
Thanks, Mayor O'Toole. Just to echo Mayor O'Toole's comments, I think Director Burton and I agree. It was a really good week at UBCM. We had meetings with the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Infrastructure, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, as well as BC Hydro. The theme of a lot of the meetings was the province has no money. Thankfully, we're really asking for money. You know, we were there, of course, to advocate on behalf of our community. A lot of our meetings centered around, you know, moving projects forward, like the school, our Snowfluent pilot project, and also some good news to share with the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing on our BC Builds housing project that's moving forward, and we're grateful to be working with BC Housing on that. But I think all in all, it was a good week, and I'm sure we'll get some follow-up letters that we'll share with council and have on an upcoming agenda post UBCM from the ministers. And then the next following week, I was away again at the Mountain and Resort Town Planners Summit. So that was my first time attending it with Sun Peaks, very first time having a presence at this summit. It was actually the former Mayor Rain who encouraged me to attend this summit and really take more opportunities to connect with leaders and innovators in other resort towns within North America, not just BC. We obviously connect quite a bit with the other 13 resort municipalities in BC, but other resort communities around North America face similar unique challenges in providing municipal services to their residents and their visitors. So there's a lot of benefit, of course, to sharing that knowledge, experience, and leadership. And this summit was definitely an opportunity to do that. So brought together planners, leaders, housing managers, as well as some elected officials from resort towns all over North America, primarily in the US, BC, and Alberta. And I was left feeling very inspired. It was hosted in Whistler, and probably no surprise to council that Whistler Mayor Jack Crompton in his welcome address Did spend quite a bit of time talking about the work and impact and legacy of both former Mayor Rain and Nancy Green Rain. He shared some advice with the group that came directly from Al. It really resonated with me. And it resonated, I think, with everyone at the summit. He said, plan the impossible and get to work, making it happen. And I think really that's how we've gotten things done here in Sun Peaks, and I think how we'll continue to move forward. I also had the opportunity to take a tour of Whistler's workforce housing supply that was led by the Resort Municipality Whistler planning staff and Whistler Housing Authority staff. And also got to see their BC Builds project, which is almost complete, so that was really cool. And I was honored to be able to share the work that our housing authority is doing, and an update on our BC Builds housing project as well. Questions about that? Just wanted to comment on the recent playground donation that we made to Municipality, and some chatter in the community around the field behind the Sun Peaks Center. So as council is aware, Sun Peaks Resort has some plans to make some changes to several sites that they control, and that resulted in the need to remove some playground equipment specifically from the field behind the Sun Peaks Center. And the playground equipment that sits outside the guest services daycare site operated by Sun Peaks Resort. So in collaboration with the resort, we were able to facilitate the donation of all the playground equipment to our neighbors, the Scotland Band. We're extremely grateful for the addition of these amenities to their community. This was a need in their community, so it will go a long way adding to their recreational facilities. With respect to the field, I know there was some confusion, I think partly because our municipal staff are the ones disassembling the playground. We have generously cared for that playground over the last number of years, but we don't own the site, we didn't own the playground. And as I think many in the community know, and as council knows, that parcel of land is controlled by Sun Peaks Resort and has always been planned for future development, hotel development specifically. Until that time, Sun Peaks Resort has recognized that there is a need for parking, especially in this area during peak times, especially when there's events at the Sun Peaks Center and at Sun Peaks Center stage, as well as the arena. So it will be used for overflow parking. We would just ask that any questions about that be directed specifically to Sun Peaks Resort. That said, the municipality, and I'm sure council agrees, we recognize that the importance and the need for community space and community assets and facilities. And so council, of course, along with staff, do continue to recognize that need and that we have a role to play in that, and we continue to explore options. And we certainly welcome opportunities for community input and feedback. Just some upcoming community engagement opportunities. There is one happening tonight here in the Sun Peaks Center in the conference room. So the Sun Peaks Housing Authority is hosting an open house. And then next October 16th, we have our second and final short-term rental review community engagement session. Lastly, just an update on the Sun Peaks, Sun Peaks Health Center request for proposals. As we all know, as owners of the health center, we have put out an RFP seeking a new operator to operate and provide medical services in the community health center. That RFP closed on September 30th. So we will be going through the evaluation process over the next several weeks, and we of course hope to be able to put some options and a path forward in front of the council shortly after that. As we noted at the last council meeting, we're looking at the role that a health association could play. There's been some shift in what's been happening with the health association. So it still is currently active and made up of members of council only at the moment. However, the directors of the health association recently appointed Alice Muirhead to the health association to give an opportunity for her to look into how the health association can play a role in the transition of operations away from steps to a future operator. And so Alice will be working with the health association on behalf of the health association to facilitate this process.
Excellent. Thank you. Do we have any questions on it? Okay. Nothing under new business, I believe.
I don't know if council members had comments or questions about anything else in the staff. We have other stuff.
Does anybody have any questions
Staff
or comments? You've read through the various staff reports.
Yeah, I did, let me just find it here, yeah, we mentioned some, repairs to the ice plant. Under that, it sort of mentioned the viability, I'm assuming that meant the viability of the existing ice plant, not the arena as a whole, or was that?
Yes, the ice plant, yes.
I assume that was, I just thought I would.
Fair, it's good to.
Have we looked into, I know because in our RMI funding plan, we did have money for Zambonis and stuff there. I think that might be an easy thing to switch to ice plant. I don't know what, if we have any even ideas what a newer ice plant would cost. I mean, we did get that one, I think some of us remember, for free, and then it sat outside for 8 years after we got it for free. So it's certainly not a new ice plant.
Yeah, I
No,
can speak to
Mr.
that. It's definitely on our radar, something we're looking into, particularly with the new capital projects manager on board.
Guessing more than 100,000,
Oh, yes.
more than two, more than two,
Yeah, we will.
5.
It'd be about $1 million.
Yeah,
is what we-
yeah.
is what we've been.
You've been going for a while, so yeah, that, the
Five
two,
Zambonis.
yeah, okay. Which I don't think I have any other space mills, I think there was something in the bylaw that I looked at, I don't find it. I mean, it'd be during the short term night, yeah, I rental updates, but I think it is because we do always get 1,000 questions about. I had an issue, but I didn't call, I didn't know who to call, there is the information on the report on how to get to bylaw, and granted, if it's to make your complaints, probably not a bad thing to flag.
Mr. Hoppe, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I've included it at the bottom there. They can go on our website, or you can make the call at 778-910-4479. We encourage people to give us a call and voice your opinions, voice your complaints. Happy to deal with them. That's what bylaw is for.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anybody else have anything else? In the reports?
Those were mine too.
Yes. Okay, so. On 7 under new business, nothing tonight, today, sure.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
if I might, wondering if council, would be inclined to write Ministry of Highways and, with a thank you letter. Thank you for listening to the concerns that we expressed about the condition of the road. And thanking them for a fairly significant effort in terms of the amount of it that they did and how they coordinated that construction over a busy summer period. And
limited the impact.
all in all, I think it went pretty well considering how much they were doing on the site and how much traffic was moving up and down the mountain road.
Councilor Dahlia.
Do you know, the only thing I was gonna ask, are they coming back to level the shoulder of that upper part still, or are they pretty much?
That I don't know.
They have to do the shoulder.
They've got
Yeah,
some shoulder work.
I know that they started it, but they haven't finished it, and I just wonder if they'd given us a timeline of when they were.
We can find that out easy enough, probably would our best option, see, okay, we'll reach out to Sam, or could we do it? So we have somebody do that, just touch base and find out. How do we go about doing that? I'm also thinking that in that process is, would we just send a letter to Ministry of Transport, or could we ask that they forward that on to Dawson as well too? Who did the physical work?
We could send it to both of them.
Send it to both.
Oh,
And I think, even though we're speaking on behalf of the residents of Sun Peaks, I think we have a lot of people that are vested in the community that live along this corridor, and what we're realizing here is it wasn't just the work that was done related to the section of the road down to Whitecroft, but Whitecroft and Lakeshore Drive and all the other side roads and streets between here and the bottom. There was a lot of really quality work done over the last 90 days. It's had a positive impact on everyone, so I think Council Brayden's good there.
I'll work with you, Mayor, and Phil on drafting something, and
Sounds
we
good.
sign it and we'll send it off.
Excellent. Okay. Under 8.1 through 4, we've got a series of correspondence for information. Everybody's had a chance to look through those, I assume. Okay,
One question I did have about correspondence is. what gets into the council agenda and what doesn't, because we have received correspondence on, you know, some items here, but we did also receive some other correspondence on some of the same items, and it's not in the package, like Ralph Biba, either, I believe, had sent in correspondence to everybody as well, basically pertaining to item 8.4, but just basically on the other side of the coin. And someone from Kelowna sent us a letter and it was published, and someone from Sun Peak sent us a letter and it's not in the package.
Did I get that letter and
Or did it
did
just
Janelle
come to
get
us?
that
Did it
letter?
just come to, I didn't even,
I might have missed that too.
Yeah. So we would just ask that oftentimes, I mean, I will say that most of the time I do get copied on the letters, but if I don't, then if you could
No,
forward to
there you
me so that I could forward to Ms.
Yeah.
Melnick so that she can,
Okay.
because all correspondence, unless there's anything inappropriate or.
Also, to that point is that this came in on Friday, so the likelihood that it would have.
So we do have an agenda deadline cut off.
It would have been a struggle to get it to the,
Okay.
but yes.
okay, I just
I'll
got
forward
curious
that to
on
you.
and I mean, I didn't even think to look to see if it was, if you were on it or not, I just
I didn't
assumed
either.
it was kind of everybody, so I didn't check the names, so I think that's good information.
And I'll just add that perhaps somebody should respond to
Yeah,
that correspondence that did not get put on.
I can do that.
Because I was away, but I did read it and there was a request for it to be put on.
Yeah,
It will get added to the next agenda.
Yeah.
And
I'll
if we could let her know that.
Sure.
That.
Yeah. If you forward it to me, I'll forward it
just
to
did.
Janelle, she'll have it added to the next agenda and I can respond to the writer and say that it will be placed.
Okay.
in the next agenda.
okay. Wow, I'm done with it.
Need a motion to accept the.
So we got a motion to accept
Information.
correspondence for information. Do we need to do a motion for each one or can we do it collectively?
I'll do it collectively.
There we go.
The four
Motion by
pieces.
Council Reagan to accept the 4 pieces of correspondence for information purposes. Seconder, Councilor Kimball. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? So moved. And moving on to 9. Questions from the public. We're not online, I'm assuming, correct? Is that,
We are, yeah.
okay. And then from the audit, from in-house.
Just,
Mr. Byrne.
what if CEO Campbell, how many proposals or responses to the RFP did we actually get?
We received 1 proposal. And I should just clarify that we will still evaluate that proposal. We want to make sure. yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that we do our due diligence, so we will still go through the evaluation process.
Another comment, just another comment,
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
to bylaw, the breakdown on the second round, of all of the fees and stuff, it's excellent. Thank you.
Anything else? Do we have anything online? No. Nobody's texting me. Okay. 10, we're gonna close this meeting 10.1 pursuant to the community charter of section 91D, security of the property of the municipality. Minute break.
Motion.
Oh, sorry, motion, Councilor Reagan. Second by Councilor Kimball. All in favor? There we go. Okay. 2 minutes.